Hey guys, Brian here with Thumper Fab. Today I'm going to walk you through the install of our headache rack on your John Deere Gator. We've gone ahead and already installed our rear accent panel. You'll use your M8 bolts and thread it through the accent panel into the M8 riv nuts we provide in the rack. When installing the accent panel, it's easier to loosely install all the bolts at one time. It'll help your alignment when you get to the other side. If you need any more slack, it'll allow it for you. If you plan on adding any accessories like a Rotopax mount or something similar, it's a good idea to go ahead and install it before you have the rack mounted to the vehicle, since access would be limited next to the bike. When installing your winch onto the headache rack, you're going to want to install your fair lead first, then feed the winch cable through the fair lead before mounting the winch to your winch mount plate using the 4 bolts that come in through from the bottom. On this installation, we've gone ahead and went with our light option. Your light option will mount to the winch plate using the hardware that's provided in your cube light box. You mount them in these locations and wire accordingly. For easier purposes for the installation manual, we removed the back panel to show you a better look at what the installation process entails. Before you'll be able to mount your headache rack to the vehicle, you'll need to drill out this lower hole to a 3/4 inch. Once you have this hole drilled out and you install your small spacer, you'll be able to use the headache rack as a template for where to drill your upper hole. The holes in your inside mounting bracket are slotted to allow for any variance in the hole you drill through your back panel. You may want to leave the bolts loose so that when you go to mount your headache rack to use as the template to drill your upper hole, you have the slot centered with the hole you've drilled. Before you'll be able to mount your headache rack to your unit, you're going to have to remove the 2 factory bolts that fasten your back panel to the frame. You'll reuse those bolts to mount our lower mounting plate, simply sliding the bolts through the holes and tightening them up evenly. Now with all 4 of your holes drilled, you can go ahead and install your small spacers into the lower hole and go ahead and mount the rack to the vehicle. Your headache rack all prepped, you can go ahead and mount it to the vehicle. With your upper holes drilled, then the first step is to install your lower mounting bolts. Use a 13mm socket and wrench. And you'll feed the bolts through the spacer we installed in the black plastic. With your upper holes drilled out, you can go ahead and proceed with mounting your upper bolts using a spacer on the outside and on the inside of the bike. When installing your hardware for the upper mount, you'll have your short spacer on the outside and your long spacer on the inside of the unit. With all 4 of your mounting bolts started, you can go ahead and tighten them all up evenly. On the enclosed cab models of the Gators, you'll have a wiring harness running behind your passenger upper mount. You'll pull the harness out of the way so you can install your upper bolt. Our Thumper Fab headache rack comes compatible with Rotopax mounts, bolt holes provided, so you can carry your jugs. All it takes is a simple 90-degree turn, take them off, tighten the mount back up, you're ready to open the bed. With everything tightened up and fully installed, you're ready to hit the trails.